want to look at part 3. Now, the good news is we did some of this yesterday. So this should not be confusing to you once we get refreshed a little bit. Who remembers how we handle this? Erica? We take the logarithm of both sides, and yes, you can skip that step if you want, Erica, and go straight to x log 3 equals log 7. Does everybody remember that when we're solving for an x that's an exponent, you can't do it if it's an exponent. So you have to get it not an exponent. So if you take the logarithm, then you can pull it out in front. Remember that from yesterday? And then we divide. And we type it into our calculator carefully, making sure we're closing all the parentheses we need to close. I got 1.7712. What about you? Now, would everybody on your own try B? Now, in a minute, we're going to something different. This is review from yesterday. Would everybody try B? Nathaniel? Try B. Everybody try B. Exactly the same kind of problem. Moses, you trying B?
I already did B.
Oh, you're amazing. What did you come up with?
1.66096447.
Yep. So maybe 1.6610 if we rounded it off. Okay, so we got that? All right. Now I want you to turn page 30. Okay. And we are going to apply this skill on some actual word problems. Now, in order to do these problems, there are 2 formulas that you need to be comfortable with. Normally, I would make you memorize the formulas, but because time is so short before the exam and you have a lot of other stuff you're working on right now, I will give you the formulas. I will probably forget that, so you need to say to me when I give you the exam and it doesn't have the formulas on it, you need to say, oh, this is Ford, you promised to give us the formulas, okay? Here they are. Your compound interest formula. Now, I think you should write it down. Write it down. You don't need to memorize it, but you need to write it down. Your compound interest formula looks like this. Now, what do all those letters mean? A is the amount that we end with. So this is going to be a problem like go down to the bank, I deposit some money, it earns interest, I come back 5 years later, how much is in the account? This would be how much is in the account at the end of 5 years. P is your starting amount. So if you go down to the bank today and say, okay, here's $200, I'll be back in 5 years to get it. That P is the $200 that you originally invested. That's a number one, just a number one. This is the interest rate. You all have bank accounts, I hope. And you know that while it's not paying very much right now, you are getting a little bit of interest. That has to be put into the equation as a decimal. So the problem will likely say 6% interest, but in the formula you have to put in 0.06. And there's two of them and they are the same. N is the number of times per year that your interest is compounded. So for most of you, you get monthly statements. Your interest is compounded monthly. So if that's the case, then your N would be 12. Now some of you may have accounts that are compounded quarterly. So your N would be 4. And then T stands for the number of years. Okay, so here we go. Let's do problem number 1. How long will it take for an investment of $1,000 to double if the bank pays 2.5% compounded quarterly? Okay, tell me what numbers did I put into this formula?
A will be 2,000.
A will be 2,000. Very good, Julian, because P is 1,000. Kids, how did you figure that out? It doubles. So if we're starting with 1,000, then we are going to end with 2,000. What's my interest rate? 0.025. What's my N? 4. Compounded quarterly. That's 4 times a year. Both the N's are 4s. And T is my variable, right? How long does it take? Notice, where is your variable? Oh, it's an exponent, it's up. It can't be up. So at some point, we're going to take the logarithm so that we can pull it off. Okay? But not yet. What do I have to do first? I gotta divide by 1,000. So step 1, I'm gonna divide by 1,000. Now let's go ahead. Let's see what that is. 1.00625. Now that's a little bit more complicated, but isn't that equation a lot like this one? We have a number to a power equal to another number. So what do? Take the logarithm of both sides. And why would I do that, Jennifer Year? Why in the world would I take the logarithm of both sides? Well, not by itself, but so that I can get the variable down variable's up here. Can't do it. So when I take the logarithm, I can pull it off. Right? Now what? I'm solving for t. Now what happens? I'm going to divide. Now, actually, I need to divide by 4 and the log of 1.00625. Would you agree with that? To leave me with just t? But when you divide by 2 things, make sure you put it in parentheses. So we'll do log 2 divided by did you come up with an answer?
Do you just plug in your calculator?
Yeah, what the 4 just huh? Yeah, just plug it right in.
You need parentheses around the log.
Okay, what'll happen is this parentheses will come in, you have to close it. Divided by, put this one in, 4 log, that one will come automatically. Close it and close the one you put in. What'd you get?
27.
Yep. That's right. 27.8124. And that would be these. So when you added, okay, I want you to type exactly what I tell you to type. Log 2, close parentheses, divided by, parentheses, 4, log 1.00625, close, close. All right, let's try number 2. Okay, so here's my formula. Let's see if we can get stuff put in. And where do I put the 1, 2, 3, 0? Is that A or P? That's P. That's what I start with. P is what I start with. Where do I put the 3.125%? R. 0.03125? What's N? N is 12. Both ends are 12. Make sure you put 12 in for both ends. And what do I do with the 10 years? That's T. And then when I come over here, I know it's hard to see. What am I looking for? I'm looking for A. All right, now wait a minute. Wait a minute. Is A an exponent? So there will be no logarithms here. What do we use logarithms for? One thing, to get the exponent off, right? We don't care about that. We're going to type this in on our calculator. Now, what's 12 times 10? Let's take care of that right now. 120. So I'm going to type on my calculator, and if you think you're going to have trouble, pay attention. 1 plus 0.03125 divided by 12 equals 1 plus 0.03125 divided by 12 equals. Now raise that to the 120th power. Equals times 1230. You gotta multiply by the 1230. So 1680.53. Okay, so if you're not getting that, I want you to start over, clear out, start over, press exactly what I tell you to press. Don't press anything I don't say. 1 plus 0.03125 divided by 12 equals. Raised to the 120 equals. Times 1230 equals. And you should get this. Okay, one more time. If you just type exactly what I wrote, you'll get it. 1 plus 0.03125 divided by 12 equals. Raised to the 120th power. Use your little caret button. 120th power equals. Times 1230. All right. Remember I said there are 2 formulas? Okay, today we're only looking at the 1, so I need you to go to number 7. Okay, everybody's looking at number 7? How much will I have in my account after 12 years if I deposit 555 at an interest rate of 3.5% compounded monthly? All right, take a minute and see if you can set that up.
You said 5 by 5.
$555, yeah. I'm reading it right off the sheet.
Which one is the N again?
Look in your notes, I wrote it in the first row. Guess what? Okay, let's focus on getting number 7 set up, and then I will help those of you that are still having calculator issues. But let's get number 7 set up. So think about where you're going to put all those numbers. Moses, do you have it set up?
I got it.
Moses, I want you to set up the equation. Do you have it set up?
As you were talking, I'm setting it up.
What did you put in for A? A, that's what I'm looking for. What did you put in for P? 555? What did you put in for R? What did you put in for N? Both ends were 12. And what did you put in for T? 12. So did you just make that exponent of 144?
Yeah.
Now this is like the one we just finished. So I'll type 1 plus 0.035 divided by 12 equals. I'll raise that to the 144th power and times it by 555. How many got 844.17? If you did, you are absolutely right. no point in retyping it in when you don't need to. Okay. Everybody all right with that? Okay, tomorrow we're going to get the other formula. Let me see how much time we have. What schedule on that? We're at, it's like, okay, so I'm going to do one more problem with you, and then tomorrow I'll get the other formula. In your note sheets, go to the page 29. Stay with me for just a couple more minutes, guys. Then we'll be done. Look at part 4. I'm looking on number 29, or page 29, number 4. These are logarithmic equations. So we need to solve some of these guys. And luckily, you already have. They've been easier than this one, but you've already solved these. Just look at it. What do you think might be a good way to start? Subtract the 3. That sounds like a great plan. Anybody have a second step idea? What, Lauren? Divide by -2. Now here comes, you know how to do this, you just might not think of it.
Guess you multiply by, next to that word.
No.
6 to the first.
There we go, Erica. 6 to the -1st equals x plus 2. Remember how we rewrite? 6 to the -1st equals x plus 2? What does 6 to the -1st mean? 1/6. Oops. What is 1/6 minus 2? -11/6, that would be one way of doing it. Anybody think -1/5/6? That would be another way of doing it. One more, and then I promise I'll be quiet. Let's look at C, problem C. Step 1. Jordan, you paying attention? What do I do first? Subtract 2. Be careful. What might be the next step? Divide by -1. The base here is a 10. 10 to the negative 2 equals x plus 1. This is going to be kind of like the last one. What's 10 to the negative 2? 1 over 100. It's 1 over 10 squared. Negative 99/100ths. All right, well, good work today. Here's what I'd like you to do for homework. I'm going to change it a little bit. Real short assignment. I know you're getting ready for exams. It's stressful. You need to do problem 1 on the front, and on the back, you need to do 8A and B. So you have 3 problems. That's your homework. A and B.